Hey, this is Scott with Main Oven Craft, and one of the things that I've wanted to do for a long time is kind of give a from the ground up tour of what makes our mobile ovens, and in particular our mobile oven frames, different from everybody else. Um, at Main Oven Craft and Main Wood Heat, one of the things that makes us a really unique business is that not only are we an oven builder, but we also are a trailer designer and fabricator all under the same roof. So from a evolution of design and quality standpoint, there's nobody else in the industry doing what we're able to do, either with customizations from customer requests or, for our own use, seeing something that needs a small tweak or even a big tweak, we can make that change in the design, and then we can affect it in the actual construction process and see how it bears out in real time. And I think that's just a huge advantage for us and for our customers, honestly. But this is the core frame of one of our large/extended trailers. The overall length of this frame is 15'6", and what I want to show in this is that we have a completely tubular construction for our core frame. There's no angle iron, there's no C-channel. This is all 2" by 4" quarter-inch wall steel tube, and every piece of it is completely welded. And when it's all together, what it creates is a very rigid box, essentially. And ultimately, that translates into an advantage in that this box is super rigid, and any forces from the road and any bumps don't transfer up and cause a twist action in this assembly. It stays very rigid. It's a little bit heavier than what other people are building, but in the end, what we're trying to build for folks is something that not only performs well in the short run, but that has the greatest amount of longevity built into it possible. We have trailers that have been on the road for close to 20 years now, and this frame evolution is the best that we've built, probably maybe the 5th or 6th generation over the years. We started doing trailers in 2005. So back to the rigidity, we have a very rigid box, and we combine that with a very soft ride torsion axle from Dexter. And that soft riding axle basically absorbs all of the harsh road conditions and doesn't transfer it up through this assembly. And whatever does happen to come up through the axles, because of the rigidity, it again, between that and tire pressure, it's a very low impact on the oven itself. The oven itself has its own exoskeleton retention system built in on top of the oven core that provides another level of sort of containment and long-term security for all the components. But this is really the, I like to tell people, think of the foundation of a home. If the foundation of the home isn't built well, the home is not going to last for generations. So we really believe in building this portion. I say overbuild this portion so that ultimately everything above it can live on for years and years without concern. This is our rotational foundational support hub plate here. All of our ovens come standard with a 360-degree rotation, so that no matter what site you're at, if it's a small site or your oven needs to be off the left side and you don't have room to maneuver the trailer, you can spin the oven independent of the trailer and either point it off the left side, the right side, or the rear. And I think that versatility has been huge for our clients over the years. If you can zoom in and see some of the welds, but our welds are heavy, and this is kind of getting into the weeds, but one of the cool things about how we do weld is that we use a pulse welding process versus a standard arc transfer process, and that pulse welding is higher heat and deeper penetration. So for a thicker material like this, we can get away with a slightly smaller weld that drives deeper into the parent metal and creates a better actual joint at every joint that we have, which there are a number of them. But in the end, I don't worry about a joint in the oven failing with how we weld it and the thickness of the metal that we're using. One of the things that we've considered as we evolved this design over the years is that we're carrying an oven proper that's a 48-inch hearth diameter that weighs approximately 4,000 pounds. And if you've researched other ovens on the market, one of the things that really differentiates us is weight. Our ovens are heavier, the walls are thicker, our hearth is thicker. So with a heavier oven, we needed to make sure we had a heavier duty frame. And again, back to the axles, one of the things that we also do is that we basically push the weight of the trailer and the oven combination within, say, 10% of the max load capacity of the axles. So that, in combination with the inflation pressure of the tires, creates a very soft ride. If, for instance, if we had a 2,000-pound oven and a 1,000-pound trailer and 7,500 pounds, or I'm sorry, 7,000-pound axle rating, it would be a much rougher ride. So by pushing it up toward the upper end of the axle capacity, it creates a very soft ride, and there again leads to more longevity, less wear and tear on the oven components themselves. I don't know if you can. The next thing I thought would be super helpful is to actually look at a trailer that's farther through the production process, that's come back from powder coat, so that we can see the angle iron deck support, which is the only place that we incorporate angle iron. And we have other details like our bearing support system, our rotation pin receptacles, all of our light holes, our axle brackets. There are a bunch of things that we'll look at. I think that for us, another end that we've come to in our years of producing ovens is that we only powder coat our frames. There's no conventional painting that we do anymore. It's just such a, for one, it's less toxic, but realistically, from a durability and longevity perspective, it just lasts and lasts and lasts. So let's take a walk over to this other trailer and see how things evolve through the construction process. So this is what we would call our short trailer configuration. The upper deck here and the lower frame are roughly 40 inches shorter than the extended trailer platform. And for folks that have limited towing capacity, are set up in, let's say, a farmer's market venue where every square foot is restricted, this is a great choice. If you're doing a lot of backyard catering, it doesn't take up a very large footprint. The hauling characteristics on this versus the extended trailer are beautiful. Hauls very well. That has a lot to do with, again, the heavier oven, the position of the axles. You can see on this one that the rotation bearing mounts are in place. Very heavy duty. Each one of these bearings is capable of supporting 20,000 pounds. So all told, that's an 80,000 pound bearing capacity plus the center hub. So we're overkilled probably 10x on, the components, which again translates into overbuilding and increased longevity. This frame for the short trailer is also 2x4 quarter wall material, welded with the same process. There is no difference in how we construct a short trailer versus an extended trailer other than the length and the reduction of material. Again, I think our bias is always to overbuild rather than underbuild. Trailers for us are really a vehicle to ensure that our ovens above the main attraction are well seen and don't end up needing repairs in the first 5 years like a lot of our competitors' ovens do. And essentially, one of the reasons I just want to say real quick why we do this sort of box frame design is so that we can enable the incorporation or the adaptability of adding storage components, storage boxes. This shorty trailer can take a underbody box that's about 6 feet long and about 45 inches wide. And within that box, we incorporate an aluminum, very high quality, heavy duty drawer slide system so that all of the oven's tools, the chimney, a day's worth of wood can be stored with the oven. They stay together. And when you're prepping for an event, everything that you need for the day, excluding tools, I'm sorry, excluding food items, can be on board and ready to go. And so if you're training a team, um, and there's a place for everything. The beautiful thing about having this underbody storage with the box in there and the drawer is that you can say the wood always goes here, the operating tools always go here, the chimney goes there. As long as they're in their home position after every event, they'll be there when you go to start your next one. The next thing, one of the cool things about this rotator positioner that this oven is on is that it enables us to weld all of our welds in a horizontal position rather than having to weld them vertical or overhead. But it's a cool thing to see, and I just want to run it through the motion. So what I want to do after this is to show you a more completed extended trailer outside. We'll take a walk outside, and then we'll come back in and we'll take a look at a completed extended trailer with the stainless decks, a sink pot assembly. It's got a Bigelow style 120 oven on top, and we'll kind of deep dive into some of the details that make it a complete package and where sort of some of the fit and finish advantages are. So we'll take a walk outside, take a look at that oven out in the snow, which we just have a little bit of, and then we'll come back in. Hey, I just thought this would be a cool stop along the way as we go to visit this other actual oven trailer outside. These are 8 bear trap trailers that we designed and fabricated for the state of Maine for their Inland Fisheries and Wildlife Department. Pretty cool concept. There's a cantilevered back door on this, and we'll do another video on these independently if you're interested. But they are a good example of the quality of our workmanship, the quality of the powder coat. And it was just a fun project to do. So we're going to take a walk over and see the other trailer. So this is an extended trailer with that same core frame that we first looked at inside, with obviously all of the deck angle iron installed, the rotation brackets, central rotation hub. The fenders are now installed, finished wheels, the axle brackets, and another cool detail that we have standard on all of our trailers is an integrated Acme thread top wind screw jack. And the idea with this is that we've customized these and eliminated the handles and put a 1-inch socket ready hex nut on the top of it. So essentially you put a 1-inch socket on a driver and you can drive these down very quickly on site to level out the trailer. There's always 3 points. There's a jack up front, 2 jacks in the back. You can always make your trailer level front to back and left to right with that kind of a configuration. This trailer is gonna get a rear box and a front cross box to be completely built out, and I don't think it will have a sink pot on it, but it's nearly ready to go. The decks are actually already welded and ready to be installed. This will actually be, this trailer isn't sold. It'll be a demo trailer for us that we'll have in the shop. And of course, they usually always sell, but it'll be in our shop for a few months anyway. Yeah. So welcome back. So we're inside. This is a finished extended trailer with a sink pod unit accessory installed. The cool thing about this is it's modular and can be installed after the fact if you decided you wanted one. We have another version where the sink pod is integrated into the deck surface, which is a little bit more difficult and kind of has to be decided at the outset of a purchase. But this is an extended trailer, so we have an extra 40 inches of deck. This trailer has all the bells and whistles, so it's got an underbody box across the front, which is open accessible from both ends. show you that real quick. All the hardware we use on every trailer is all stainless steel. This is a Bigelow style Model 120 with a custom powder coated finish. The name of this is actually Tiger's Blood. It's been a pretty popular finish for us, and the cool thing about one of these Bigelows with this skin is that, you know, 5-10 years down the road, you don't like the color, you can have the skin taken off, you can have it powder coated locally. We always keep the final panel, which is a custom length, on file here. So if you said, oh, we don't like the powder coated finish, we want to do a copper finish, we could always do a custom copper panel finish for you, ship it to you. You could remove the lid, remove the side panels, and just replace it. So it's a pretty cool modularized form. The domes are a little bit more difficult. We'll do a separate video on this later in terms of the functionality or the ins and outs of all the little details of the sink pod, but it is a 3-bay sink plus a hand wash sink. It has an integrated on-demand hot water heater, 12-volt water pump, an integrated battery and charger. We'll open the door here and take a quick peek, pop it on for a second, and just show you. This is a hookup to a standard, either little mini Coleman style, it's not going to stay open for me, but a little Coleman style propane tank, or you can use a 20-pound tank and hold it outside of here. If you want to use the Coleman tank, you can keep it inside. But essentially, there's a 12-volt battery, on-demand hot water heater here. There's a freshwater tank that we make in-house out of stainless, and a gray water tank, roughly 25% different in capacity. I think that's a 9-gallon freshwater tank, and that's an 11.5 to a 12-gallon gray water tank. The water pump is up in there. The on-off switch is right there. And just real quickly, we can turn it on. We don't have propane, so we can't see the hot water running this instant, but it's pretty fast. Go ahead and turn this on. Really nice, high quality, small sinks. And again, everything we do, we're doing in-house. All this stainless work on top, we do right over there on that CNC press brake in terms of the bends. This radius detail on the corners is something that's really nice and soft, so you don't end up, you know, damaging your hip when you run by the trailer. Plus, I think it really works well with the round shape of the oven. You know, anywhere you look on one of our trailers, the fit and finish is really superior to other things that are out there, and I've seen all of them, believe me. So we will move around to the back and we'll show you rotation of the oven, take a quick peek inside, and also go over the rear box and drawer slide assembly so you can see how we outfit that and how we fill it up with goodies. We'll do. All right, so here we are at the back of the trailer, front of the oven. I just want to do a walkthrough on the rear box and drawer slide. So we make these boxes in-house to our spec. Just open the double doors. This drawer slide assembly is made by Slide Master. We make the drawer as well. Let's pull that. The entire drawer comes out. This is our most popular accessory. There's a nice handy-dandy spot for your chimney with some padded receivers. All 5 of our standard oven tools go in the center bay. There's obviously room to put more stuff in there if you want. The chimney cap detail fits in this zone, and then there's a day's worth of wood that you can fit in this 17-inch wide by 4.5 foot wide, 4.5 foot long bay. So it's 16-inch cordwood is preferred. Really, that's all that will fit. And to close it, you just push the knob in, all the way up in. Like I said before, the beauty of this accessory is that everything that has to do with the functionality of the oven stays with the trailer. So onto the oven. Remove the door, take a look. That's a Model 120. That's a 48-inch hearth inside. I don't know if you can look in closely, but you can see that our hearth has a perimeter cut. Maybe go a little bit more. Yeah, so our hearth is completely replaceable. if indeed it ever needs replacing, which on a mobile, I've seen customers go 15, 17 years before needing to replace their hearth. Yeah, this is one of my favorite finishes, this combination of the tiger's blood and the stainless lid and the stainless pan. Just like how it all pops and holds together. But on the rotation, so this is about 4,000 pounds, the oven proper from here to here, separate from the trailer. We have to remove these two pins up front. There's one, and it can go in the tool holder receptacle. And then we'll go around to the other side and remove this pin. And then come back to the front of the oven, rear of the trailer, grab the handle, get in an athletic position, and just pull. And so now we can operate off the left side. We can rotate it the other way. Operate on the right side. And when it's in this sort of, whether it's right side, left side, rear, in every position, you can take one of those securing pins and pop it through one of the oven pan tabs and re-secure it so it can't rotate. Everything is equidistant from the center. And so now it's secured. We don't recommend traveling with the oven door facing front, right, or left, always off the rear to prevent especially water from getting inside. But very simple to return it to the home position. Onto the oven. Quick overview of our extended trailer with rotation, all the bells and whistles, including the rear underbody box and drawer assembly, front cross box, and the sink pot assembly. There you go. Just a quick shout out. This oven is going to a repeat customer of ours in Windsor, Connecticut, Salt's Eclectic Cuisine. Super cool operation. They make some amazing bao buns in their other food truck, and really creative chefs, hardworking family. Everybody's involved, husband and wife team. Really been enjoy working with those guys. Just a quick